Welcome to iLecture Typically, when we talk about electric fields, we give it the units newtons per coulomb. But we could also call it volts per meter. And so, in other words, what we're saying here is that a newton per coulomb is the same as 1 volt per meter. We're going to show you that in a couple of ways. First of all, we realize that the definition of voltage, potential difference, is equal to the work that we require to move a charge through an electric field divided by the size of the charge. So when we look at the units for voltage is a volt, the unit for work or energy is a joule, and the unit for charge is a coulomb. So therefore we determine that a volt is a joule per coulomb. So therefore what we can do here is we can take 1 newton per coulomb, and we're going to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by meter. So we have meter divided by meter, which still gives you the same as before. But we know that a newton meter, that's the same as a joule. So that's a joule divided by a coulomb times meter. And by definition, we know that a joule per coulomb is the same as a volt. So that can be then written as a volt per meter. So in other words, the newton per coulomb can be converted to volts per meter. Another way of looking at it is looking at our electric field. This is a constant electric field of 100 newtons per coulomb directed to the right between 2 metal plates that have excess charge on them. And so we have potential A on the left side, potential B on the right side, and the distance between them is 2 meters. So what we could do is we could say, well, the potential difference, we could say that VA minus VB is equal to the work we require to push a charge across the distance divided by the charge. So that would be work divided by the charge in which we move across. So for example, if we take a small positive charge of value Q and we push it all the way to the other side with a force, the work that it takes to do that will be equal to we can define that as force times distance, and if we divide it by charge, that will then give us the potential difference between those 2 plates. The force inside an electric field, that's going to be equal to the electric field strength times the charge within the electric field. And of course, we still have D divided by Q, and when the Q's cancel out, this gives us E times D. So we can go ahead and calculate E times D by saying that E is equal to 100 newtons per coulomb, and D is equal to 2 meters. That would be equal to 200 newton meters per coulomb. And of course, newton meters is a joule, so that would be equal to 200 joules per meter. And that by definition is a volt, so that's 200 volts. In the same way, what we could do instead, we could say, all right, we know that the electric field strength or that the voltage, potential voltage, VA minus VB is equal to, we can take this part of the equation, E times D, and then instead of calling the electric field 100 newtons per coulomb, we can call it 100, that's not quite the right number here, so 100 volts per meter in the x direction. So instead of calling it 100 newtons per coulomb, let's call it 100 volts per meter. So this is 100 volts per meter times the distance of 2 meters. The meters cancel out, and notice this gives us 200 volts. As you can see, sometimes it makes a lot more sense to talk about the electric field in terms of volts per meter rather than newtons per coulomb, especially when we try to make a relationship between the electric field and the potential difference from one side of the field to the other side of the field. It's simply easier to say volts per meter times meter gives us volts. So that's the other way in which you can express the units of the electric field.